Welcome to Wisdom-Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2461 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom-Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. This is the 22nd lesson in our segment of Theology Thursday. Utilizing excerpts from the book titled I Dare You Not to Bore Me with the Bible, written by Hebrew scholar and professor, the late Dr. Michael S. Heiser, we will invest a couple years going through the entire Bible, exploring short biblical lessons that you may not have received in Bible class or church. The Bible is a wonderful book. Its pages reveal the epic story of God's redemption of humankind and the long bitter conflict against evil. Yet it is also a book that seems strange to us at times. While God's Word was written for us, it wasn't written to us. Today's lesson is Slaying the Sea Monster. When we think of creation, we think of everything beginning with God's spoken word, as Genesis 1 tells us. But some Old Testament writers concentrate on another aspect of creation, and a weird one at that. In Psalm 74, in the middle of God's ordering the sea and dry land, His establishing the sun, moon, and stars, and the seasons, we find another event, God destroying sea monsters. Let's read Psalm chapter 74, verses 12 through 17. You, O God, are my King from ages past, bringing salvation to the earth. You split the sea with your strength, and you smashed the heads of the sea monsters. You crushed the heads of the Leviathan, and let the desert animals eat him. You caused the springs and streams to gush forth, and you dried up rivers that never run dry. Both day and night belong to you. You made the starlight and the sun. You set the boundaries of the earth, and you made both summer and winter. Let's look about this warring of the sea monster. The reference to God breaking the heads of the sea monster and crushing the heads of the Leviathan has led many on a desperate study of the Old Testament zoology. But this, along with many other confusing Old Testament images, has its cultural context. In the ancient world, the original primordial chaotic conditions of creation were often portrayed by a monstrous dragon. This reflected the stories of the ancient Babylon and Israel's closest neighbors, Ugarit, ancient Syria just north of Israel. In the literature of the ancient Ugarit, a god Baal battles Yam, who is portrayed as a chaotic churning sea, and a terrifying sea dragon named Tanun or Latanu. These terms are equivalent to the Hebrew words in Psalm 74 verses 13 and 14. You split the sea, Yam, by your strength, and you smashed the heads of the sea monster, Tanun, and you crushed the heads of Leviathan, Yalatan. Other parallels are found elsewhere in the Old Testament. In Ugaritic stories, Latanu is described as a twisting serpent and a fleeing serpent. These precise phrases are used to describe the sea beast Leviathan in the Old Testament in Isaiah 21:1 and Job chapter 26:13. So what's the point here? God didn't really fight a little dragon at the beginning of creation. This imagery reflects the mindset of the ancient world, which viewed the sea as unpredictably violent and unable to be tamed. This frightened the ancients. Only the power of a mighty God could produce a habitable world from the chaotic seed, a deed portrayed in the battle of the untamed deep. God was victorious in his conflict, as we're told in Psalm chapter 74. This imagery was intentionally repurposed throughout the Old Testament. In Isaiah chapter 51, verses 9 and 10, the sea monster image, this time called Rahab, is applied to the Israelites' escape from Egypt. It was the arm of the Lord who cut Rahab to pieces and pierced the dragon, Tanun, the one who dried up the sea, making the path of escape through the depths so that people could cross over. This imagery, the same imagery that's used in the creation story, effectively describes the birth of a new nation after God defeated Egypt. Isaiah also described the end of the days with the same language in Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1. In that day the Lord will take his terrible swift sword and punish Leviathan, the swiftly moving serpent, the coiling, writhing serpent. He will kill the dragon of the sea. In the book of Revelation, taking its cue from Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1, describe a time when there will be no more sea. Revelation 21, verse 1, the elimination of all that opposes God and will come to his final reign on earth. Only when the new heaven and the new earth are brought into being will the violent sea monsters truly be slain. Now, the lessons that make up Theology Thursday on our Wisdom-Trek podcast for the next couple of years will satisfy the statement, I dare you not to bore me with the Bible. I trust that you'll enjoy them and, of course, not be bored. If you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom-Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom-Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.